I studied photography and urban cultures at Goldsmiths, and we're having a similar approach to the city, using urban landscape photography.
We all started making individual projects, but we found that they linked in the approach that we were questioning social governmental policies, the spatial dynamics in the city, in these particular cities.
London won the bid in 2005 to host the Olympic and Paralympic Games, and London mainly won the bid because of its focus on urban regeneration and renewal. But it's really about London competing with other global cities on the so-called global cities arena. My work is also more frontal, I would say. Some are more close-up images, some are like wide-angle images, but I also usually try to arrange an image according to lines. And it's then also for the viewer to break this line and to imagine what's behind the line or out beyond the frame of the image.
My work was originated out of working with architects in the Middle East or from the Middle East. We were looking at the way that migrant workers reorganise the city in a spatial sense, how they walk and how they use the city, which is actually being designed for motor transport. So the idea of barriers for me is how that they break down the infrastructure and actually disrupt that spatial system, not in a hostile way, but in a everyday routine way, how they are changing the space through their actions. I followed the roads and I wanted to reveal figures isolated in the landscape and how they're often hidden by this landscape, and how the fact that photography can reveal situations and events that when you're in situ with lots of traffic you don't actually notice.
Japanese Zen gardening, everything's absolutely perfect, and they put a little rock in the middle of grass that says you're not supposed to go beyond that. A lot of times as well, in terms of putting up erecting barriers, like in Gesche, that's local Tokyo government's response is to erect ropes and barriers in these sites to evict them and try and keep people out. But then they do go in and brace. Some of them are more militant to homeless people, so they go in and they get the ropes and reuse them and use them to actually make the sites as well. So they're actually breaking the line physically. They're actually going in there and reusing what's been left by the local Tokyo government. We don't really tend to take very oblique angles. It's always that kind of straight, kind of frontal view, and that line there in front of it. So it's quite in terms of approaching the subject matter, and then how do you actually put it into maybe the lines of the frame of the viewfinder as well. Yeah, I mean there are plenty of lines.